Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast, the #1 Halloween podcast in all of the universe. It was voted on by absolutely no one. We're still #1. But anyway, thanks everybody for being here. It's been a rough night for me, so we're gonna go with like the flow. I've got Discord open. There's a lot of topics in there that we're gonna talk about. So anybody that submitted stuff into the Nerdcast Discord, probably a lot of those will be topics for tonight. I was hosting a party, so I threw together 2 thumbnails and 2 topics for both the channels very quickly. Today's been crazy. I also had a video that I was supposed to upload to my Debunks channel. I recorded it in advance. I made the thumbnail, and I didn't schedule it. So it's sitting in there waiting to go out. So it'll probably end up going out tomorrow. But it's been quite a day. I also was going to be in costume tonight, but I have to tell you, I was dressed up as a Lord of the Rings elf.
Oh.
There were problems with the costume. First of all, the wig was very uncomfortable. It was synthetic hair, and it was like bothering me. And I'd been wearing it since 6 o'clock. The other thing was the ears. I didn't have spirit gum, so the ears kept falling off. So it was kind of a disaster. I couldn't have worn the ears anyway because of the headphones. But we had a good party. I had a lot to drink, but I think I'm capable of running the podcast tonight. So I slowed down a little bit about 2 hours ago. Okay. So hopefully there's nothing in front of me. So I think we're good. But we have Darren here who is ready for Halloween with his witch's hat.
It doesn't really fit me, especially over these huge headphones.
That's the problem with podcasting at Halloween is you can't really, it's really tough. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun tonight. We did a lot of really interesting desserts. So have you ever seen the show, or have you ever seen any videos where it's like, is it cake or is it not cake? Where it's like, you have to determine if something is cake or if it's like a purse or a shoe or something like that. So tonight we did that with like very creepy things like hands and bones and stuff like that. So people had to determine whether or not those things were real or not. And so I thought it was kind of interesting. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. And we had a nice little crew over. The last person left about 25 minutes ago. So it's like literally I was rushing in here to get ready. So there's that. Let's go ahead and remove the QR code on there. By the way, if anybody wants to go to the shop and you're watching this on playback, you can click on that QR code and it'll take you there. Otherwise, you can just go directly to the link provided in the description. How have you been today, Darren? How are things going for you?
Not too bad. This is my first day back to work after a little staycation. So the last like 8 days off of work. So getting back into that rhythm is always like, do I have to? Do I have to get back there? But no, it was good.
That makes sense.
Filmed a couple of things. Did my show today. So good day.
Yeah, I today's been a whirlwind for me. Matter of fact, I have to go. I mentioned this in my video that didn't go up today. But my actual phone bricked on me, like it completely died over the weekend. So I've been using my backup phone, which is my work phone. This is the one I use for work, which doesn't have any of the fun stuff on it. Like I don't really make thumbnails on my work phone, so I had to like transfer everything over to my work phone to get stuff done this weekend. So I have to go get a new phone tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but then time got away from me. We were preparing for the party. You know, when you're hosting an event and it's a lot of stuff that you have to do, any time you have to take away from that is not good. So I was like, I'll just wait till tomorrow after we get through our big Halloween party. And there we go. So I will be in costume on Thursday's stream though. Like I have a costume specifically for the stream on Thursday. It's going to be a Halloween stream. So there we go. So the Den of Nerds video, what does that mean? Is this video on that Den of Nerds video? Is there a video about Kathleen Kennedy from Den of Nerds?
I don't know.
Like, I don't like that channel, so I wouldn't have seen it. But
oh, it's this fucking guy.
Oh, is it the guy that argued with James Gunn?
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
that guy's always on something. I always see him pop up. I was like, oh, here he goes again.
I don't know if we'll watch his video tonight, but I am going to talk about a tweet I saw. Because I think it's really interesting about Kathleen Kennedy. And we're going to talk about the Captain Marvel trolling that's been going on social media a little bit. and then we'll just kind of like scour through some topics. If we get some more people in here, we'll go over one of our bonus topics. I know you missed it, Darren. We did our women in comics on. So I don't know if you want to just drop your list quickly if you had one. Do you have one?
I'm not as comic oriented as one of you guys, so I will leave that to you guys. Not that I don't know any, but
if people show up tonight, we'll do the top 5 best Marvel castings if we get a few more people in here.
Okay.
So I think that's probably more in your lane anyway for Marvel castings, because I kind of know some of the ones you're going to say anyway, and I'm not going to put them on my list, but we'll see. No, Philip, I can guarantee he did not. He did not apologize. What's up, Harrison? Good to see some channel members in here. Harrison in the building. Thank you for being here. Lone Wolf here. It was a Samsung Galaxy phone. I don't like iPhones. I have an iPad, but I prefer Samsung phone. I know it's weird. I'm weird. But I prefer the Samsung phones because I can transfer. So let me just explain why. So we use a lot of Google workshops for things at work. So it makes it easier to just move things in and out of like our Dropbox and stuff like that. Just prefer that. And of course, South Texas Shark says he switched hats. Yeah,
I did. Yes. That one's too uncomfy.
Hey, Jose, how are you doing? We do have some super chats. Let's go ahead and jump into those quickly. Naruto here with a $5 super chat. Words I never thought I'd say. Who's excited for the Halo 1 remake on PS5? Yeah, I see that they're getting ready to start putting games on other platforms because the market for gaming consoles is, they keep saying plateaued or they've run out of basically what they're saying is any gaming console they make at this point is just going to be a computer, essentially. They were kind of close to that anyway, but I think they would make more money off selling the IPs off to different things. You're not a big like FPS person or like a shooter looter type guy.
Not really, no.
Yeah, me either. I was never really big on Halo. I played Halo, but it was never my favorite. I get motion sickness, so I kind of avoid games like that. But I think it's probably the best move for the company to start expanding. Mm-hmm. I do understand that console exclusives do drive sales sometimes, but I actually think we're getting away from that. Lone Wolf with the $2 super chat. Have you seen Sumi Liu's thoughts on AI? Just saw it. Yeah, we can pull that up. Let me. I actually bookmarked that. Actually, right here. So it was on the top of my bookmark list. While I was sitting around drinking cocktails earlier, I was just bookmarking stuff. This was one of them. So we could talk about this. So Simu Leo explains that replacing the background actors with AI deprives people of the ability to pick up skills to become an actor. I agree with that. I do think that's true. I think if I was able to learn from experience as a background actor, then how many other people are doing the same. And depriving the world of background actors, you're also depriving people of the opportunity to kind of pick up these skills. I think this is also in response. Who was it recently that said something about this? Someone said, it was some person in Hollywood. Oh God, who was it? I'm blanking now. Said something about like they should just hire or they should use AI instead of hiring background actors. I don't remember who it was that said that.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. I don't remember who it was though. Was it
chat? Who was it that said that? Somebody in the chat knows.
It was a big director. It was. Yeah. I know James Cameron has said like some stuff in the past. I don't think this was him though. Which is so weird that James Cameron's one of the like pro AI people when it's like.
No, it was Kevin O'Leary, right? It was the guy from Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary. That's who it was.
That's
who it was. Yeah. I think if you want to use AI to fill in empty space that's not important, I don't really have an argument against that. But I think if you're using AI to replace like real people, that's just not acceptable to me. And then he goes on to say, film is such an artist medium. All of the uses of AI that have come forth replacing art is just like, I feel like the last thing that anybody wants to do with AI. I feel like art is art because it's human. True. I actually agree with that. It comes down to even the way the way extras move. It all plays in a frame. It's all meaningful to the story. I don't disagree with any of this. Now, I know a lot of people in the negative hate space here on YouTube have probably talked shit about this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The reality is what he's saying is true. I feel like this is all true. You can disagree with him on like the application of AI in certain instances, but I think when we're talking about art, I think for me, art is a human thing. I think it is what humans. It's kind of one of the things that separates us from just existing is art because it allows us to express things internally, externally, and all AI can do right now is replicate things that already exist. So it's not really making anything new. Do I think true AI will ever get to a point where it can make new things? Maybe. But what we have now is not that. It's just not that.
I don't know why we would want to care. Like why we would give a shit, because art is that extension of how we feel, and that it's that human experience, and AI will never truly have that. It will never have that authentic human experience. And no, like, it's a scary time. It's a scary era that we're living in, where more people. I just saw like this week there's been a bunch of like White House, not to get like political on it, but like the White House is like doing these AI images and GIFs, and it's like, hire someone, like wouldn't like support the images they're hiring people to make, but just hire people to make that art that you want to post on your social media.
Yeah.
But they're just like, if like the White House is doing it, people are gonna be like, oh, all right, well, let's just like, we can just do that now. Like other people are gonna follow suit.
I actually think there's more to it. I think that, well, not to get super political, I'll dive into that a bit, but then we'll pull it back into this, is that I think that the politicians are trying to dive into AI because they're courting like the crypto guys, and the crypto guys are big on like AI and things like that. I think that's where they're going with it. But you're right, it does also offer some sort of normalization for people that may not necessarily be in on AI. The amount of people that I know personally, I'm gonna use an anecdotal situation here, or scenario, I guess you could say. The amount of people I know personally that can't discern the difference between AI and regular stuff is pretty disheartening. Yeah, it's pretty upsetting. And I'm not talking about a poster for a movie. Anybody can fall for one of those. I'm talking about videos that are obviously AI.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, I'm even getting to a point where I'm not noticing all of it. Like there are some that will come up where it's like, oh, that's cute, and then I'll scroll down and be like, AI. I'm like, shit, I fell for it. Oh no.
For me, one of the big giveaways for AI is the isolation of the shot. Like it'll focus on one person, and that's the frame of reference, because it's not an actual camera and it's not an artist, so it can't create art that flows the same way an artist does, and it can't film the way a camera does. So all it's doing is mimicking what a camera does, and it's not quite right. If you see it isolating, that's usually a big giveaway to me that it's AI. But say for example, it's like if somebody were to do an AI of us here on stream, we're not moving in frame. We're sitting in frame.
No,
and we might do this, but our camera frame is the same. So it makes it super easy to do something like that, which is why you'll probably see a lot of politicians and podcasters and things like that get copied first before anybody else. I do think, though, I don't always agree with people in Hollywood. I disagree with a lot of them a lot of the times, but I think we really need to. Also, there's been a big push from organizations to outlaw what was the term they used? Sorry, I haven't been drinking for the last couple hours, but I was drinking tonight. So the outlaw like this AI, this push for like true AI, like genuine AI.
Yeah.
Like they're saying that that's a bad idea to make AI sort of a superpower when we haven't even really regulated the AI that we have now, basically.
I saw a tweet earlier today that broke my heart a little bit, and there was this AI video, and it was, these two girls kissing, and like I think it was a streamer. It was like a real life streamer, and like the streamer saw it and commented, being like, "It's so fucked up that people can literally make me do anything they want me to do. Yeah. They can just have me make out with them or make out with anybody, make out with any celebrity." And I think that's such a fucked up thing that you can just do that. You can take a real life person and make them do whatever you want. That is so scary, genuinely scary.
No, I agree with that. I think we're in a weird spot, and we're seeing a lot of lawsuits right now from music studios and artists, and with the Writers Guild and all this stuff, like people really trying to push back against this. I think we have to have some sort of like regulation on, like, if you and I want to make shit at our house with AI, I don't think that's going to impact that's not a big deal. It's not going to affect people's jobs in the industry or anything like that. But once we have like the large companies, the studios doing this, making AI movies and TV shows, that's when it affects somebody's livelihood. Because I could sit here and I could draw Spider-Man at my desk and it doesn't affect Marvel, or I could create an AI wallpaper for my phone. That doesn't affect Marvel. But the minute I try to sell that or make money off of that, it does affect Marvel. It does affect people's jobs. And I think that's a big deal. Oh, you're muted, by the way.
Sorry. I mean, did you already talk about the whole like Power Rangers thing that came out like a couple weeks ago?
No.
That whole situation.
Yeah, kind of give me I read about it, but give me like what you know about it because I'm not too familiar with that one.
So yeah, like that's a weird long story. So yeah, there was this YouTube channel called Ninja Kids. They did Power Rangers like fan made content for years and years and years. And recently Hasbro basically gave them the go ahead of like, we want to actually make something with you. It became a like official Power Rangers production. They gave them a little bit of budget. It's like now like it was a officially licensed project from Hasbro. But the way that they described it is like, well, they still barely gave us any money and we had to work with what we had. And so they put out the trailer recently and it was filled with AI.
Oh,
it was just God. Most of the special effects were helped with AI, and they had come out and they were like, well, they didn't give us much budget and we wanted it to look good, so we just used AI to help with the costs of make it look good. And internet tore it to shreds. Like within the first hour it went online, they had to take it down. And now they're not even sure if it's coming out at all. And you know, it sucks because a lot of those actors are like young adults to teenagers, and they're getting a lot of flack for it when it wasn't their call to make it, to like add that stuff. That was all the, you know, the team editing and some of that. But that at least gave me a little faith in humanity that like things can still be stopped when stuff like that is happening on a big scale, that people are still like, wait, no, don't do that, that's dangerous. But how long until it gets too far? Until where we're not being like, hey, stop. Like, what if Disney put that out tomorrow? Would we be willing to be like, hey, don't do that? I don't know.
Well, last and first man here, Paul. Thank you for putting your name there so we have a name to go with. True AI is impossible with our current energy tech. I agree with this. That's just factual. Our energy output simply can't produce it. Even with the fusion breakthrough, we'd still be lacking. Yeah. So the thing really holding back AI now is just the resources. If AI had unlimited resources, like if they were powered by the sun or something, like directly, it would be a nightmare. Like we would have a big problem. Right now, we are beyond our limits of power when it comes to pushing for AI. It's why chips and the environment are such a big deal when it comes to AI. So thank you for mentioning this, Paul. Do appreciate it. Here's Guillermo del Toro, which, by the way, Frankenstein, I believe, is out on Netflix now.
It's out on Netflix in November, but it's in select theaters now.
Right,
yeah.
But he's up here saying, I'd rather die than use generative AI. My concern is not artificial intelligence, but natural stupidity. I think that's what drives most of the world's worst features.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a pretty good take, too. Oh, wow. Cody here says this. I mean, if they're using AI for everything, it's...
I mean, I won't defend those voters for sure.
Anyway, thank you, Lone Wolf, for the super chat. I know we kind of went off on a tangent there, but I do appreciate you dropping that. By the way, we're 2 out of 5, you guys. If you want to, it's only 3 more super chats to reach the goal. It's at any tier right now. Trying to take it easy for the rest of the month, for the next couple weeks or whatever. So read the first reply to this from Mr. Reagan. Okay, let's see what it says. Do I want to, Mr. Reagan? Easy to say when you're given hundreds of millions of dollars for movie studies to produce your pictures. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, again, this is the money thing. Like, what does that have to do with anything? He's saying as an artist, he doesn't want to use generative AI. Like, yeah, you're saying, oh, if you're not getting hundreds of millions of dollars, it's okay to use AI. I wouldn't argue against that, only because then you're not a producer working for a major studio where you're getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
Even more reason for him not to use AI. What a dumb comment. What a dumb comment. Anyway, what's the chat saying here? Jay says, I just find it creepy, especially using it to generate adult material of people. It's disturbing. I agree with that. Harrison says based. Yeah, totally. Let's see here. Let's go ahead. We'll talk about the Kathleen Kennedy stuff. We're already 20 minutes in. I don't know if anybody's going to come in, but we'll talk about this. I want to address what what my whole title is about.
Mm.
So we've seen like this whole first I want to say this. Kathleen Kennedy has a career of massive hits.
Yeah.
Whether she was working on something partially or whether she was directly involved with it, almost everything she's been connected to, almost everything has been massively successful. Now you can disagree with the artistic direction she took on her movies. Absolutely. Just like with any director and any writer, any actor, you can disagree with that stuff. But it is absolutely false to say that she has negatively impacted Star Wars financially, which is what a lot of people like to say. That's false. It just is. The number, you add them up sideways, add them up backwards, subtract, multiply, whatever you want to do. She made tons of money for them with their theatrical releases. Only one of the 5 movies that came out while she's been there has not been a massive success. The rest of them have done really, really well. So my point is, I think it's really weird for anybody to even asking why she deserves an apology. Well, I would say she deserves an apology in general. Even if you're saying, even if this person is saying it for another reason, which I think is the whole like Ben Solo, dumping that movie or whatever it is, which I think some people are saying that facetiously. I think the issue is these guys have spent their like the better part of half a decade attacking this woman.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like just generally saying they don't like her stuff, like lying about her getting fired. Every other day she's getting fired, or she's already been fired, or she's quitting, or they hate her or something like that. It's just like in general, they have treated her like she has done something so egregious that she deserves to be out on the street homeless. You know what I mean? Like it's weird to me to even engage with someone the way they do when it comes to her. So if you were to ask me about her deserving an apology, she just deserves one in general from these guys. I mean, is that crazy? Am I crazy for feeling that way?
No. I mean, I think there's a lot of these Hollywood executives and, bigwigs in Hollywood that have done really horrible things. I don't think she's among that crowd of people. At least not in the way that they are suggesting. Like, I bet there's been some things where it's like, oh, maybe that could have been handled slightly better, or whatever. But
I mean, there's Harvey Weinstein. Like, obviously,
like there are like
someone like that. But we're talking about Kathleen Kennedy, right? Yeah.
But again, like all the things where it's like they ruined Star Wars. It's like most have been hits on the major scales, and I would argue the things that aren't necessarily on her. Like, it seems like there are larger things at play than the decisions that she has made for the company. But like, I know there's been a couple. Like, I know like Indiana Jones was like one of the big ones. People were like, oh, they ruined it, blah blah blah. But like, I don't know, she didn't direct the movie, like she just
I mean, she's primarily a producer, I think, for most of it, but...
yeah. I don't know. It's listen, I think whenever you have unfortunately a big female figure in anything, like, they are the first to get blamed. They are like, if Kathleen Kennedy was a male, I would argue they probably would not get nearly as much flack as they do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And that's just that truth.
Comments here. Captain Kano says, I mean, I would consider a plan or direction to be something that needs to be kept in mind when they get into these positions. She made money, but there wasn't a vision or work. Well, look, you can like, I think it's fair to criticize any person in charge of a franchise for like their artistic vision for it, but she's a producer. Producers typically don't have as hand-on approach to like things as like a director or a writer does. Some more than others. I think there's like, you could argue that like Kevin Feige is a bit more hands-on in the way the MCU is done than any other person in production. You know what I mean? I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy was that involved with Star Wars. There's rumors out there, but we don't know for sure. You know what I mean? But I think it's fair to criticize some of the choices that were made. But that's not really what my issue is. Like, I don't care if people want to criticize her for the decisions she's made about Star Wars or what she had as a vision for the studio. I think to paint her as someone that has ruined Star Wars from a financial standpoint, which is what these guys say, is false. And to say she's going to be fired is false. None of these things are true. And the vast majority of them that argue about what happened with Star Wars is solely on the hands of the directors and the people writing Star Wars and not Kathleen Kennedy. But she gets blamed for all of it in general because she's a woman in charge of a particular IP.
Yeah.
Which that's fair. But Captain Kano, you can I'm never someone that tries to like scold people for like disliking art for just like a valid reason. That's not really what I do. Fallen Gemini here with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Fallen Gemini. Den of Nerds recently made a video apologizing to Kathleen Kennedy, which I thought this live stream was about. I'm going to take a look. There's a clip from Den of Nerds that someone shared, I think, in response to his video. So I'll take a look at that in a moment before we move on. Because there was a clip that someone shared where he was talking about her less than a month ago, and it wasn't a very nice clip. But we'll take a look at that. Lone Wolf here with the $2 super chat. Chainsaw Man movie debuts with an A on Cinema Score. That's interesting. I'm not a big fan of Chainsaw Man. I mean, I know what it is. I'm familiar with it, but it's not something that I'm really like super, I guess, interested in. Are you a fan of Chainsaw Man at all? Or no?
I'm a fan of Chainsaw Reacts. He's a Chainsaw Man, but no, I'm not a big anime guy myself.
Naruto here with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Nerdrotic Star Wars is dead. Me, you keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means. Yeah, So on the Debunks channel, I've kind of made a joke about pointing out how the channels are dying out because I think they do the same thing with Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy and Marvel. It's all just like this thing's dead, that thing's dead, and a lot of times it's just not at its peak. That doesn't mean it's dead or dying, but they love to use that term quite a lot. I do think that there's a lot riding on Mandalorian and Grogu. I think that movie needs to be at least a critical success, a fan success. Even if it doesn't do well financially, it needs to be something that fans love for them to even consider what they're going to do moving forward. Because I don't know what Star Wars is going to look like a while from now. You know what I mean? So she's the head of it, but do we want... So my question, Captain Kato, this isn't me being like, facetious or whatever. Do we want producers to be responsible for everything, or do we want producers to give a little leeway to writers and directors? We can't blame producers for every mistake that's made, but then also say to producers and studios, you need to let directors have their own vision of what they're doing. So unless we know for certain that the decisions that were made came specifically from her, and those were the things that ruined whatever thing it is that we don't like about a movie, we can only assume that came from the director and the writer, unless otherwise told, that it didn't. So it's like you can't have both things. She can't be responsible for everything, but also not responsible for what directors do when people want directors to have their own vision. For example, if Kevin Feige, say for example, Doomsday comes out, and it's a massive hit, right? And the Russo brothers are totally behind all the big decisions. Do we give the credit to Russo brothers? Do we give it to Kevin Feige? How does that work?
Yeah.
That's a shared experience. So you can't place all the blame on Kathleen Kennedy just because she's the person that hired someone to do something. There has to be shared blame somewhere. That's just my opinion of it. So let's see here. Didn't Josh from Den of Nerds said he was going to talk Star Wars theory about apologizing? What? I don't know about that. They were on a podcast. They were on a stream together the other night, though. I did see them together. I don't know if that's the one where he apologized to Kathleen Kennedy. But here's what I want to look at right here. So Josh Den of Nerds here on Twitter said, I have heard even more about things she wanted to do that Bob Iger killed. Big video dropping today. And I think that's the video that you're talking about where he sort of apologized to Kathleen Kennedy. I think that's the video that, who was it that super chatted? Hold on, let me look over here. Fallen Gemini. I think that's the one you're talking about. But here's the thing. This was a clip that was shared by Mr. Grizzly, which I don't like this guy either. But let's watch this. I don't like it's a lot of infighting where I'm not picking a side. But here's the clip that was shared of him less than a month ago.
You have fucking ripped from my fucking chest the last little bit of hope that I could float towards this fucking death.
This is cringe, by the way. That is so fucking, oh god. That is so cringe. It feels like bad is it just me, or does this feel like bad acting? Like watch him when he's saying this. It feels like bad to me.
You have fucking ripped from my fucking chest the last little bit of hope that I could float towards this fucking dead-ass franchise that maybe some motherfucker with a vision that actually had artistic integrity would take these characters,
slam
take the spirit, take the motifs, the fucking values that Star Wars had, and actually cook in the 21st century. But no, that's not what we can get because there's a fucking gatekeeper. There's a fucking gatekeeper, and it's this bitch, dude. It's this fucking... We're cooked.
So basically, I don't give a fuck if he apologized. It's been cringe for a while with him now. Like, one apology isn't enough because, like, in a month now, he'll be saying the same fucking thing about her. So I don't. It's just whatever. Fucking yeah, motherfucker. Like,
it's like slam poetry. Like he was trying to sound.
Yeah, it's crazy, y'all. Like, so I don't believe anything he has to say. This guy's an idiot, by the way. He's basically became popular for getting shit on by James Gunn.
Yeah.
Like, nobody gave a fuck about him. He argued with James Gunn, and then a bunch of, like, incel idiots started following his channel. That's pretty much what it is. Flat delivery, Chevy. Pretty much. But look, I think there's a thing where we have to understand that sometimes things don't work out, and there's a series of problems that makes that happen, and it's not just one person's fault. Just to remind everybody that. Is that Den of Nerds? Yes, this is Den of Nerds. I don't really watch his content. Like, there's some people that I watch and I'm like, I want to react and debunk them. He's a guy where I'm just like, he's so cringe. I can't even that. All I can say is I have a type. Am I the what? Wait. Did you say something up here that I missed? Oh, Jeff Chan poetry. Let him spit. Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh. Anyway, let's drop this down here for a second. I'm not even going to give too much information on, like, his channel is Den of Nerds, but I don't want to go on about it. Clearly, a lot of people here in the chat don't know him, and it's probably better that you don't know about him because he's cringe, really cringe. Camden Cannon says, I want to see if I can grade you the way throughout old canon and kill Star Wars. I think they killed it when they said everything that isn't Disney isn't canon. This is a hot take. I have always been more of like a casual Star Wars fan. So this didn't mean anything to me, to be quite honest. And I know that that's probably going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. I'm not saying that you can't feel this way. Like, you absolutely can. If you feel like something they threw out has ruined it for you, then that's fair. It's valid, right? I didn't really care because I didn't read a million things connected to Star Wars. I watched the movies, the cartoons, and that was it. I didn't read the extra novels. I didn't read the comic books.
Yeah.
I didn't read any of that stuff. So for me, this meant absolutely nothing. My question would be, and this is an honest question, how many people out there that cared about Star Wars were this dedicated to Star Wars? Because I can tell you right now, I'm in a very small minority of people that watches everything Marvel puts out.
Right.
It's not the vast majority of people. I would say the vast majority of people that watch Marvel watch the movies, and they don't even watch all the movies.
Yeah. But even then, I feel like that's a different scenario, right? Because, like, that would be the equivalent of, like, okay, watching Clone Wars and watching Rebels and watching Visions and watching Mandalorian.
Because this is, like, separately, like,
this is
actual
novel. Like, have you read every Marvel novel that they've come out? No. There are so many novels and comic books and, like, and I feel like this is a thing for, like nowadays, every single franchise. There are so many, Transformers comic books and Power Ranger comic books, and Ninja Turtle comic books. None of those are usually canon to the main universe of those stories. They're just these other things that you can enjoy. And I'd argue, and again, as someone who's not into Star Wars, now you can, like, adapt some of those storylines. You could be like, okay, no, that's not 100% canon, but let's take this storyline and adapt it here and take from this storyline. I just think, like, from a creative perspective, it's just so hard to have to work around all of this lore that's been told by so many different authors and writers and all this stuff over the course of 20 years or so, however long.
Do you think some of it was contradictory and that's why they decided to toss a lot of it out? Because they're like,
probably
some of this contradicts with the other stuff, so there's no point in keeping it around because we can just make up a new history for these things that's cohesive to the movies and the TV shows.
I mean, even that, like, not to bring it back to, I know I always bring it back to this, but like we were dealing with the same shit with like the Arrowverse for years, where it's like they had a hard time creating these new stories because it's like, wait a minute, did this show has set this in place and did this set this in place? Which is why Superman and Lois was just like, all right, we want to do our own thing. Like, we love what you guys are doing, but we want to have our own this and our own this and our own this. And it's just easier to write those kind of stories.
Right. Well, the other thing is, like, think about Supergirl's ending. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I think Supergirl's ending is great for Supergirl,
yeah,
but I don't like it for
the
Arrowverse. Right.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, and I know that's just one person's opinion, but that's how I think a lot of people look at all of this. Like these separate stories, like how much they like, for example, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We have to fight tooth and nail for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to be accepted as canon, even though it makes sense for it to be canon. Like, out of everything, like this, like the Netflix shows are even less canon than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ever was.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
They're canon. Yeah.
So it's a little weird. We did get another super chat over here. By the way, we did hit the goal. Thank you guys so much. We hit the goal. So I will be putting a poll up in a few moments. Naruto here with the $2 super chat. I was using a Princess Bride quote. Oh yeah. The one. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, Naruto. Appreciate it. Cody with the $5 super chat. I'll tell you why they threw Legends out. It's because Chewie was dead within Oh, I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that.
I thought you meant Legends of Tomorrow at first.
Oh,
I was like,
the beginning of that teased you a Legends of Tomorrow.
I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Chewie was dead within the Legends lines of stories. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
I would say there's probably, I mean, you're probably right, Cody, with this, but I would say there's even more to it.
There's probably a lot.
It's probably a lot of contradictions. There's probably a lot of stuff they didn't want to deal. Or say, for example, you become the owner of the Star Wars IP, and you know for a fact that the movies and the TV shows are the most popular things that you have, and all that additional stuff isn't quite as popular, right? You want to tell stories, but you're like, I can't have this character do this thing because they died in a novel like in 1995. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it reduces the value of what you have in the expanded universe. I would say for me, I would consider expanded novelizations and things to just be Elseworld stories, honestly.
Yeah.
I know there's Star Wars fans mad at me for saying that. I get it. Don't hate me. I feel like honestly that's really the only way it's gonna go forward, to be honest.
I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but like they have Visions, which is kind of that idea where it's like, hey, we're just telling these stories that aren't necessarily fully canon, or maybe they are somewhere, but we're just having fun with that story, which is, again, what I wanted What If to kind of be for Marvel, and they never quite got there.
I wish there was a blueprint for Visions they could apply to Marvel and just do
I just want to reboot What If and try again. Just do it again.
I don't want to talk too much about this, but this is kind of what we were talking about the other night about what happens if somebody buys Warner Brothers. So companies that aren't doing great typically, or find redundancies in jobs, this is what happens. Paramount to cut roughly 1,000 jobs. Workers US on Wednesday with another 1,000 soon to follow. There's two things happening here. One is they've had job redundancies for a while because they've acquired other things. But also they're preparing for the possibility of getting another company and having even more job redundancy. So this is pretty bad. This is not good. And this is the kind of thing we would see a lot as soon as Warner Brothers gets purchased by any company. So that's why I hate that Warner Brothers is even up for sale, only because it's not good for the job industry. And I did see, though, this is kind of funny. A lot of companies are now hiring back jobs they got rid of because of AI, because they found out that AI can't do the job they want it to do, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't want to jump into the next story until the top of the hour, so let's see. Oh, this is interesting. It's an interesting article. Let's check this out. Everything we know about Stranger Things season 5 so far. That's coming out very soon. When does it debut?
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Thanksgiving Day.
I don't care about your newsletter. I don't want this video to start. Jesus. The final installment of Netflix tentpole series will arrive in 3 parts at the end of this year. Oh, why did I even ask when it's right here at the beginning of this article? Like, so stupid. Okay. Season 5 officially wrapped production December 2024 after it reached the halfway point in July. Production on the final season kicked off in January 2024. The 5th and final season of the show has been in the works ever since part 2 of season blah, 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 blah. Let's get on here. Netflix announced its big return. The Tudum. What does that even stand for?
Tudum. That's their like little sound. The like. Tudum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like for like I think it was like a play on words or something, but I didn't realize.
No, it's just like the sound at the start of there. It's not very smart, but it's their thing.
Actually, I read. Well, actually, they're gonna say it here. We'll go through this. Many of the stars like Noah Schnapp, Finn Wolfhard, many other reached the momentous occasion on social media, posting thoughtful reflections. How many episodes? Season 5 will have 8 episodes. Netflix released the episode titles on November 6th. We already looked at those. The Stranger Things Day, which is the date of Will Byers' original disappearance, the start of the whole story in season 1. From the looks of episode 2's title, Someone or Something Else. What is this? Something Else we are missing the season. Episode 1's title has been previously released. The run times. Here we go. This is one of the things I wanted to look at because it's been so weird that we've had different stuff. Anyway, volume 1, The Crawl, is 1 hour and 8 minutes. How do you feel about going over the hour mark for the individual episodes? How do you feel about that?
I know a lot of people don't like it. I think Stranger Things is a different breed at this point. I think they can get away with it. I will say, and I don't know if this is later down in that article of yours, but like, it just came out that the series finale is going to be like in the theaters. It's going to be like 2-hour
finale. Like movie thing or whatever.
Yeah, and they're literally putting it in theaters now, which is what I wanted for season 4. Like that final episode was like 2 hours and I was like 30 minutes. It was a movie. It was a movie. Yeah. And I was like, I would have just watched this in theaters. Like just put it on the big screen. And to be fair, this is what this is. They made 8 movies and they're putting on Netflix. Like that's what they did here. Like all these episodes combined is more than like Avengers Endgame budget. Like it is insane the resources they put into this.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, but I also like the show. Like if you don't like the show as much as some other people, you might be a little like, oh my gosh, these are so long.
Yeah, like the shortest one of the first 4 is the second one, which is 54 minutes, still 1 hour long, basically.
Yeah.
Then we have 1 hour and 6 minutes, and then the mid-season finale is 1 hour and 23 minutes, essentially.
Insane. Like that is a movie. That is a full movie. It's a short movie, but it's still a movie.
Let's see a few other insights into the newly released episode title. Oh, wait. This confirms a time jump in season 5, which will pick up more than a year after the events of season 4. Interesting. I thought we knew that already. Did we know that already? Or is it
I'm not sure, but like it's interesting how they ended it. Because like they ended it being like, well, now it's coming here and like the apocalypse is coming. Like, so I'm wondering, like, there's been photos now where like they're in school and stuff like that, where it's like, so wait, how are you going to like, how have they like postponed this event that like they can go to school and there's 6 months left and they're, so I'm curious, like, what is the everyday life looking like in this world?
That's true. That's a good question. The season 4 finale ended with Vecna opening a massive gate to the Upside Down, leading to terrible destruction, and Hawkins as the 3 groups of original cast members reunited there. A few other insights on newly released episode titles paired with some of the photos posted on Stranger Things Instagram account, as well as Ross Duffer suggesting more Dungeons & Dragons lore with the source short title of episode 4, a radio station hangout, 50,000 WSKQ watts. That potential ties into Shock Jock. Episode 5, which rhymes with the squawk picture and only van for the outlet, the mysterious yet oddly specific term Camazotz, which either represent the planet from Madeline, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, or Wrinkle in Time. I've heard it a million times. I can't say it. I'm not even going to try. Mayan Bat God from the Underworld or something else entirely. Season 4 introduced something terrifying demi-bat creatures that caused both Steve Harrington and Eddie Munson damage. Episode 3 likely refers to the Turnbow Land Development and Realty Company portrayed in an Instagram post from Ross Duffer. Season 5 will see new cast members Nell Fisher, Jake Connolly, and Alex Bro joining the cast of Stranger Things. Fisher will play a more grown-up Holly Wheeler.
Okay.
Linda Hamilton announced 2023's ta-dum, a global fan event. She will be joining the final season as well, but the deals and role are being kept under wraps. They join core cast members of everybody. Later additions Sadie Sink, Brett Gelman, Maya Hawke, Jamie Campbell Bower, Amy Beth McNulty, as well as others will close out the final installment as well, with Bauer embodying the big bad. Vecna was introduced in season 4. Do we think they're pieing for like another spinoff of the show?
Oh yeah, they've said that they're doing multiple spinoffs. Because the Duffer Brothers like they recently made that movie deal with the Paramount, and like they're moving over there. But they said recently that they're still staying on for all the
Stranger Things spinoffs from Netflix.
All the Stranger Things spinoffs. Like we have the animated series that's coming out. I actually don't know when that's coming out, but yeah, I think they've said they're making multiple things for that world, which we'll see. Like I don't know how that's gonna go, but good luck.
Max's fate is uncertain, but Sink has revealed that she'll be running in some way. Season 5. Oh, running up that hill. Okay, fair enough. Eddie Mudd said a breakout star of season 4 is more certainly dead. Though Quinn did give pause at a red carpet review. Okay, he might be back in season. Well, I mean, maybe a flashback or something. But
I think he'll probably be like as Vecna, like playing with like their minds or something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, I don't know if it's in here, but like they just confirmed Barb is back for this final season.
Yeah, she's been dead since season 1. So.
Yeah, that's a season 1 character. So I bet there's gotta be like that's how you do the cameos. Like you have Bob, you have him, you have Barbara. Like bring back all your hit characters through.
Here we go. Season 5 is the last one, but the universe will live on through the stage play Stranger Things: The First Shadow.
Yeah.
Which delves deeper into the lives of teenage Joyce Hopper, Karen Wheeler, and Lonnie Byers. Deadline exclusive reported the play will be the one of 3 plays. There'll also be there'll be an animated spinoff series which remains untitled for now, so they don't even have a title for it.
I thought they did. It's like the Adventures of 90 or like 80 something. I thought it did have a title. Hold on, I'll look it up. Yeah, you can keep going, but
yeah, the pair behind Stranger Things are collaborating with Netflix on another show called The Burrows. Oh wow, Bill Pullman's in that one. Another series that works with Netflix from the Duffers is Something Very Bad is Going to Happen, which may star Camilla Moreau and Adam DeMarco. There's a Stephen King adaptation. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Did you find the title of the animated series?
Yeah, it's called Tales from 95. And it takes place during season 2. Either season
It's
2
interesting because this article is from like 4 days ago. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's confirmed. Yeah, Variety. Oh no, that's not it. Never mind. I'm pretty sure that was announced. I'm like 99% sure.
Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and make the poll since we already hit the goal. Whoops. I'm really hungry because all I did was drink for like 5 hours. However, I'm not going to order anything, but let me tell you what the situation is. Have you ever had one of those like pre-made pizza crusts that you can get from the store that you like put your own stuff on and everything?
Yeah.
I forget the name of the company. What is it called? What is it? I'm blanking on the name of the company now. Anyway, so I got all the toppings I want and everything. So I'm going to have to order pizza for the whole chat. Maybe, possibly. Tales from 85 is set between season 2 and season 3 time jump. Tales from 85?
Yeah, Tales from 85.
You guys are going to make me like order actual food. Like I want to fix that pizza, but you guys in the chat are telling me to order food. I don't know. Captain Kano goes, have you guys seen Ghost on? I do watch that show. I don't like it anymore.
No.
I liked it early on. I don't really like it anymore. It's become like an advertisement for Amazon.
Yeah.
The issue is a lot of shows that go on for a long time okay, so here's the problem. And you'll see this a lot depending if you watch a lot of network television. Shows that go on for a while drop in viewership, and in order for them to stay on the air, they have to have a lot of like additional funding, and that comes from product placement. Ghost, if you watch the last 2 seasons, they have a ton of product placement. Like they will literally have an Amazon person come into the house and talk about Amazon delivery. It's pretty bad. And I understand they need it to stay on the air, so you get like 1 or 2 episodes a season that are very heavily product placement, but it just bothers me. I'm like, we're wasting an episode on like some Amazon storyline. So it's a good series. It's a good series.
Yeah.
What doesn't well, no, I'm not saying like for example, if I were sponsored by Pepsi and I have a Pepsi sitting on my desk, I don't have a problem with that. I don't like it when it interferes with the story, when you have like a whole storyline around product placement. To me, that's a problem. They had a whole episode about something they ordered on Amazon that arrived late or something like that. And I'm like, this is just dumb. This is really dumb.
I always remember the 2017 Power Ranger movie with Krispy Kreme. And it was like part of the plot where like
that's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah. Like that's me going, that's not what I want. I understand that places have to have product placement, but I think when it ties into your story, that's an issue. That is an issue. Just like the reason why I get brand deals all the time, guys. Like in my inbox, I get people offering me brand deals, sell this product, do this mobile game, whatever. I try to stay away from that because I think it interferes with the process of like watching a video. Because sitting through an ad is one thing, but when it's an ad that's in the video, it's like, I groan. I get it. Some people have to do it, but I always groan. I'm like, it's a minute of your 5-minute video is an ad. Like, I hate that typically. All right, so we're at the hour mark or close to the hour mark. Let's go ahead and talk about the Captain Marvel stuff. Let me find it quickly here.
Oh.
It's more of a Kathleen Kennedy situation where people are just trying to talk shit. But I just want to pull this up here. Let me find it. Where is it at? Oh, right here. So this was trying to trigger people. It's from a channel that a lot of people might be familiar with, which is Nerdrotic. I'm showing his because his was the first one I saw, but a lot of people have been saying this or whatever. There's no Brie Larson Captain Marvel in Avengers Doomsday. Now, the reason why they're saying this is because they're running with this theory that they're going to recast Captain Marvel in the MCU before we get through these next 2 Avengers movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really fucking stupid. Is it fair to say that's stupid?
Yeah. Did you see the Brie Larson video that came out this week? The Brie Larson and Jimmy Reynolds video that came out.
I'll find it. Hold on.
It was a pretty straightforward video, but it was basically just Jimmy Reynolds was on a podcast. Brie Larson called into said podcast and asked him, "Hey, are you in Avengers Doomsday?" He said, "Nope. How about you?" And to me, and maybe I'm crazy.
Is this
Yeah.
Hi, Jeremy. This is Brie Larson, and I was just wondering, are you going to be in Avengers Doomsday?
Me? No, girl. Are you?
Hi, Jeremy. This is
What
Brie.
a lie! Like,
It
what
sounds
a
to me like
liar!
it sounds to me like a promo for the movie. To be honest, that sounds like a promo call.
Like, to me, that I don't think she would just do that. I don't think she would just oh, you know what would be really funny? Like, I think she has better things to do. I don't know if Clint's in it or not. I don't know, what's going on. I think this, to me, says, oh, Carol's in it. Like, this confirms Carol's in it. And his face right here, he had the biggest smile when he said, me? No, not me. What that feels like such a lie. Unless it's a thing where they're in Secret Wars, right?
Yeah.
Like they're still involved, but it's not that specific one. But this tells me both of these characters are back.
I love Serenity here saying, "No girl, are you?" I love the no girl. Yeah, I did like that too. It's like, "No girl, are you?" Hold on, let's listen to it again. I think that was funny. I want to hear that again. It was hilarious too.
Hi, Jeremy. This is Brie Larson, and I was just wondering, are you going to be in Avengers Doomsday?
Me?
Look at that.
No, girl.
Look at that
Are you?
Hi, Jeremy.
He's flustered. He's but it's dog. I think they're in it.
Yeah, this is the thing too. Get NordVPN with my discount code, Eric, 20% off. I don't even mind if you put it in your description box, but when you have a whole section of your video where you're talking about that, it's like, get the hell off my timeline. So Cody here says, well, look, I'm not. Let me rephrase that because the title of my video, I didn't really specify or whatever. It's just that I don't think they're recasting her. I'm not saying that she's going to be in Doomsday and she's 100% going to be in that movie. I think that it's the fact that they believe she's going to be recast with another person, and I just don't think that's true.
You know what else I think is interesting? And I don't know if it's been confirmed yet or not, if it's just one of those things. But I know the rumor is that Nia DaCosta has done work for Avengers Doomsday. And that that is a big one for me. Is like, why? That to me at least confirms one of those three characters are in the movie. And I think, I know we've said it for a while now, I think Monica has to be in it. Like, with where we left her in Captain Marvel 2, is like she is with that X-Men team. I think she has to come back. I think she has to play a role. And then if she's back, I would assume that Captain Marvel has to be back in some sort of way to kind of make that storyline make sense. So, again, they're in one of these movies. If they're not in this one, they're in the next one 100%. Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. Well, let me pull this up. This is from the Nerdcast in the Discord, the Nerdcast suggestions.
Okay.
Crash Bandicoot animated series in the work at Netflix. What do you think about that?
Never played. Taz has been pitching it to me for years, being like, "You have to play, man."
I mean, it's a platformer game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all of them are kind of the same at the end of the day. But
I'm glad for the fans of Banjo-Kazooie. I'm sorry, Crash Bandicoot, not Banjo. Whatever. Yeah, I'm excited for the fans of that. I'll check it out. I don't know. It kind of gives me the same vibe as like when Cuphead got their adaptation for.
I never watched it. I never watched
that. First season's really, really fun. It feels like something that would have come out in like.
You say that like the second season was it?
I mean, I just never watched past it.
Okay, got it.
Like it was good. I just didn't get back to it. It's just, but again, like it's not like it's like watching like Looney Tunes. It's like a fun little like 20-minute show, right? It's not like big plots, and I mean maybe it does later on. I don't know, but like season 1 is like episodic storytelling. It's fun. It's fun.
We also had this was shared as well. I haven't heard this name in a while. Jonathan Majors. So,
oh boy,
Jeremy Renner says. I guess this was on that same interview, maybe. Jeremy Renner says Marvel Studios had big plans for Jonathan Majors. I don't know enough about Jonathan in his situation. I know they had big plans for his character, that's for sure. Anybody at Marvel telling you that they didn't have big plans for Kang is a liar. I'm sorry. It's just like he had a deal with multiple films.
Mm-hmm.
He was crossing over between Loki and the movies. Like clearly they were setting something up with Kang. I think what the biggest issue was having Kang, I guess contractually, everything we've heard is that if Kang appeared in something, Jonathan had to play the character.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the problem lied. Like they couldn't move forward with the character because contractually they would have owed him for every appearance that he had to play as Kang, which would have been a lot of money. It would have been a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they just thought it was better to move on with somebody else.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that Kang Dynasty was supposed to be a movie.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously they had intended on Kang being somewhat important. Darren, do you think once contracts are up and all of that is done, do you think they'll ever bring Kang back for any reason at all? Like with a different actor or anything like that?
I think once the dust settles, and it won't be for a while, I'm not saying in the next 5 years, but in 10, 15 years, I see no reason why not to give it another shot. I know it's going to be tough because it seems like they want to move on from the multiverse. It seems like they want to go a different direction, which fair enough. They've done a lot of it over these last couple of years. But I think there's so many people being like, he's dead forever. They're never going to touch him again. I don't necessarily fully believe that. To a point, I've heard people like, I wouldn't even be completely shocked if there's a little something from like another actor in like Secret Wars, just like a little, just something. I don't know, to at least try and wrap up that storyline the best it can. But to be fair, I actually think Loki season 2 does a pretty decent job at it. It just being like, he could be out there, but if he's not,
I actually preferred him in Loki season 2 over what we got in Quantumania.
He was
to
great
be honest.
In season 2. Yeah, he was great.
All right, so we hit the hour, so I went ahead and put the poll up. These are the options we have since you guys helped me hit the goal. Top 5 best period piece TV shows. So that means TV shows that take place in another time period. And it could be anything. It could be the future. It could be the past. It could be anything. There's just a different time period. Top 5 best video game adaptations. I thought about the Crash Bandicoot and I was like, let's dive into that. So this could be live action. It could be animated. It could be any of that format. Top 5 worst ideas used in movies. So things that they came up with that happened in films, and you're like, that was a bad idea. They should have never done that. It's very subjective, but I think it'll be fun. And this one's a little bit more, it's subjective, but I think it's a little bit easier to nail down, which is top 5 worst plot holes in the MCU. So whatever you consider to be a plot hole, you can explain your position on that if you want, whenever we do these. So those are the choices for tonight's poll. So go ahead and vote on that if you're watching in the Reloaded channel. Look, Serenity, I chose period pieces, Xena, Bridgerton, and Downton Abbey. I would say Downton Abbey. I know it's not downtown. I don't know why I keep saying that every time. All right, let's look at Discord here, see what we got. We got a few other things here. I saw some political stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get into the political stuff tonight. So I don't know if I'm feeling that or not. It's been a fun night. I don't want to. So, we have, this is interesting. Marina Baccarin hopes for a bigger role in a potential Deadpool 4. I hope that I get to do more of it and participate a little bit more than the last one, but I understood that it was bro comedy. I mean, that's a kind of a nice way to sort of put it. I still think she could have worked. A lot of people like her, and she's one of my favorite parts of the Deadpool franchise. Because I think she's such a big part of his life. But the story they were telling wasn't personal. It was more of a grand story, and it didn't really tie a lot to his personal life.
She's never really been more, unfortunately, and it's nothing against the actress, but she's never been more than just like the
love interest for
device.
Deadpool.
Yeah, it's just like he loves her a lot, and it's always the like push of his motivation in every single movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm down with that. Like, I'd be down to see more of her. Again, I don't know about the comics and what they give her there, but like, I'm down for her to play a bigger role if they do a Deadpool 4, if that's where they want to go.
I think that Deadpool is one of those franchises they can just keep doing as long as they want because they can be kooky. Like, they could just have him sucked into like another world for a day or something. Like, it's just Deadpool's weird like that. What else do we have here? Well, I was thinking we were gonna have more people show up, so I was like, oh, we'll be able to do at least a couple of the list. But let's see what we got. Hold on. Guess because Twitter's so dangerous, let's hold that down before I start scrolling. Twitter's, I don't trust Twitter. You never know what you're going to run across. Let's see here. We got some more information, I guess, on the Ben Solo thing. Apparently, it was fully greenlit or something before Disney pulled the plug. Did you see that?
No, I haven't been following that one as much because, like, at first it was just this like one-off comment. I was like, "Oh, a thing that wasn't made. All right, who cares?" And then like the following day, everyone's like freaking out, being like, "How dare they?" I was like, "Oh my god! All right, this is a big deal to people," which I get. I can understand, but I don't know. I don't fully get it, but like.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Is this a recent post? Yeah, it's from October 27th. So I don't, this is kind of weird. The Batman Part 2 is set a few weeks after the ending of the Penguin. I mean, why does it really matter that much, to be honest? Are we really going to connect the show that heavily to the Batman Part 2? You know what I mean? How big of a role is it going to play? We know that one of the main characters from the Penguin is not even going to be in the movie. Like, Sophia's not even going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
So what difference does it make, really? I would think you could just go from the Batman to the Batman Part 2. Like, you wouldn't even need to watch Penguin, really.
I kind of wish there was a bit more of a time jump because I do want. I want Batman to have grown a little bit off screen. I want Bruce to have kind of gone through a little bit of, because I don't want that same exact version of Bruce in this. Like, I want to slowly see his journey throughout these, and I think he needs to do a little bit of growing off screen first. So I was kind of hoping for maybe like a year time jump, maybe even 2.
I would want more. I would want like maybe 3, 4 years, because the issue is we know that Robert is like going to be 7 or 8 years older since the last movie came out by the time this movie comes out. So realistically, if it's not totally connected to Penguin, you could have time jumped more. Why put a constraint on this connected to a TV show? What's the point if it's not going to directly tie into it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, we know he's back for season for Batman Part 2. The Penguin.
But I'm saying So here's the problem though. Or I mean, are we gonna have to watch the show to understand? I mean, I've already watched it, but like as an audience member, are you gonna have to watch the show to understand the movie?
I don't think so.
Because if not, then what difference does it make how long it was since the end of season 2 of the season of Penguin? Like, I don't.
The only thing I would have guessed, and it seems like this is not the case because it seems like neither of them are in it. The only thing I would have said that maybe they would have brought over was like Sophia and Catwoman's connection and like their dynamic. If they were in it, I'd be like, okay, you might want to understand this. But like nothing with the Penguin, I think, is essential viewing. It's just like learning more about that character, and like you will care more about that character if you've seen it, but he's just going to be doing penguin-y things, I assume. Like like
penguin-y things.
Yeah, it's just
the Penguin Part 2 penguin-y things. That would be hilarious to me. I will say this doesn't bode well for a season 2 of Penguin though, because if Batman Part 2 takes place after Penguin and we have at least a couple of years before Batman Part 2, I still think we're a couple years out from this movie. I know they've talked about release date and everything. I think it's going to be pushed back a little bit. That means that another season of Penguin wouldn't be for at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a good way to continue shows anymore. I actually think streamers are moving away from that, and I think Stranger Things is a good example of why.
Yeah,
taking all this time before another season comes out is just not good.
I would just prefer them do something else. Like, I love that show, but I think it's...
Give us a Catwoman show.
There's so many villains I'd love to see get their own show. And, like, I think... I'm not a huge fan of this new... this new thing that's being done a lot, where it's like, okay, we have this really cool idea for, like, a limited series. Unless people really, really, really like it, and then we'll do more. It's like, but you designed it as as a limited series. That's how you make it. I don't love studios being like, but money. But you can get so much money. Like, sometimes that's okay. You know, look at Stranger Things. That was supposed to be a one and done, and look what happened with that. But like, give me Catwoman. Give me Condiment King. Give me Scarecrow. I don't know, like, I would just tell more stories within this world. I'll take it because I love the show, but like, I don't necessarily need a season 2 of the show personally.
Well, this is interesting. There's a little snippet here about Warner Brothers sale over at Deadline. It says, what a WBD week as bidders circle Paramount shock and all signals of new media age. Even in an industry increasingly accustomed to head-snapping change, this has been quite a few days. After 3 acquisition offers from Paramount, Skydance, Warner Bros. Discovery declared it was for sale. Netflix's co-CEOs then confused Wall Street by not slamming the door on a possible bid. Sources tell Deadline that Amazon may be interested and Comcast will be taking a look, while Apple will likely pass, or so investors hope. Whatever happens, the cascade of events promises to dramatically reshape the U.S. media business, with a fabled Hollywood studio, a top purveyor of prestige TV and cable news mainstay, all poised to change hands. I don't like this at all. I think I've kind of expressed that a little bit. I just don't think this is healthy for the movie industry.
No, it's not.
I don't think anyone getting Warner Brothers is good.
No. I wish they would just keep it. Like, they've had the best year that they've had in a very long time. Like, Superman was very successful. Sinners was very successful. Minecraft almost made $1 billion. Most of these are getting sequels and stuff like that. Wicked Part 2 comes out in a month's time. That has the potential of making a lot of money. I know they had a rough couple of years there, but like just look back a couple of years ago, you had Barbie, which made a lot of money. I wish they would just hold it out a bit longer. I think they are in hopefully a new era. And while not everything is going to probably hit, and again, I am not a money expert. I don't know what their financial dyers are like. I don't maybe they're literally broke and have nothing. But like, right. I don't know. I just want them to hold it out. I don't know.
I mean, I just look around and it's like so many great things come from Warner Brothers, and even when they're not swinging, for the fences with everything, they're giving us variety.
Yeah. And
I don't always agree that Disney is a copy paste factory. I think that's kind of a really sort of bullheaded way to look at what Disney does. I will say that Disney's formula, in terms of like how they put out media, is somewhat predictable in ways, whereas Warner Brothers is open for a little bit more playfulness when it comes to the things they're releasing or distributing. And I fear that will go away completely when Warner Brothers gets sold to someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see a good resolution for this at all.
No.
In any way.
There's no great, like, I think the whole Fox thing really got covered up a lot because people were just like, Marvel, X-Men. Like, I think that's all people were really thinking of. And Fantastic Four. And like at the time we saw it as this massive win because of that. But I think now, especially a lot of us are seeing the industry in a very different way now. We are seeing like the bad situation. Like even with Fox, like there were a lot of people that lost their livelihoods, lost their jobs. Mm-hmm. So many studios shut down, and so many things happened. It's not worth it, man. It's just not. It's never a good situation.
We do have a super chat. Let's check that out. And then somebody sent me a trailer for something called Dispatch. Is that a series?
It's an episodic video game that's going on right now. It's like a superhero video game. It's like Life is Strange or like Telltale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got a $5 super chat from Lone Wolf. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf. Saw Campia talk about both these today. Junior Spider-Man is not getting IMAX screening. Also, Doomsday Spider-Man trailer for Super Bowl. Wait, Spider-Man is not getting IMAX screening? What is it up against? What else is taking IMAX? Is it Odyssey?
That's around that time.
I feel like it might be Odyssey.
I think Supergirl is getting an IMAX screening. So Supergirl around that era. Hold on, let me try and find that post because I did see a post that was like all the movies.
Spider-Man not getting IMAX is going to be bad for its box office, for sure. Oh, Moana. Why would Disney and Sony put Moana up against Spider-Man?
I think Moana makes more money. As much as I hate to
Well,
say
no,
that,
it does,
like,
but why would you even like put them close together?
I know. It's their own suicide, I know.
That's so stupid. Moana live action is $1 billion movie.
Yes, 100%.
All you have to do is look at what happened with Moana 2 being a mediocre film and how well that did.
Yeah, no, it makes... I hate to say it, but like Moana, I think is Disney's current most profitable franchise. Like they're like that's such an unstoppable brand, and unfortunately, and I hate to say it, live action just does better than animation.
Yeah.
And if Moana 2 makes $1 billion, like live action 100% makes that billion. And to be fair, Moana 2 was a Christmas movie, but still, it's fine. Yeah.
So Ethan, the only thing I will say is if 2026 is anything like 2025, family movies are going to pull money over everything else.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it, especially in the economy we're in right now. We have to think about where the economy is going to be next year Are people going to be penny pinching? How's it going to be in terms of like money for things like movies with your family? I think Spider-Man with IMAX, not against Moana, I would say guaranteed $1 billion. Spider-Man, no IMAX against Moana and Odyssey, possibly a problem for Spider-Man.
I'm sending you a tweet here really quickly.
All right.
In the private.
Oh, gotcha. I was looking at Twitter. I was like, wait, where'd you send it?
No, it's a tweet from Twitter. But
All right, here we go. All right, so this is the lineup for next year again. I always forget what
this is the
what I'm talking about.
IMAX lineup. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just the IMAX.
The Bride is getting IMAX. That's really interesting.
Project Hail Mary.
Super Mario Galaxy movie. That makes sense to be
Yeah.
IMAX. Michael, what is Michael?
Michael Jackson, the like biopic.
Oh, it's just called
two-part
Michael. Okay, got
biopic.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2 is actually getting IMAX. That's pretty wild. Mandalorian and Grogu getting IMAX makes sense.
Yeah.
Toy Story 5 makes sense. Supergirl also makes sense.
Yeah.
Minions 3, Moana, Odyssey. Spider-Man would have been in this block right here.
Yeah. Minions 3 over Spider-Man's crazy.
That is crazy.
And yeah, like all again, like that. What is it? Like May. I mean, honestly, April through July is insane for us, in just terms of like the content that's coming out.
We're gonna have another 2025 all over again in the summer. It's gonna be another
It
summer
is.
like that, essentially.
I think there's going to be a lot of these. Honestly, like I think there's a lot of these movies that will make a lot of money, but not as much money.
Yeah.
Do you think any of those move? Any of
No.
those like?
Well, maybe the animated like Minions versus Moana, maybe,
Yeah.
but other than that, I know that Lance told me he's really excited for the Tom Cruise adult entertainment movie right here. When I was listening earlier, and he said that he would totally be down to see Tom Cruise topless as much as he possibly could. Oh wait, Lance is in the green room down here.
I know you're joking, but he would 100% say that.
Lance, what do you think about the Tom Cruise adult film coming out? How do you feel about that?
I knew nothing about that. I didn't think Tom Cruise would make a movie like that.
You know, it is what it is. Did you hear anything we said when you jumped in, or you want to talk about these movie releases for next year in IMAX?
In IMAX,
We're talking about Spider-Man not getting an IMAX release and how that's.
I'm not surprised about it not getting an IMAX release. I mean, did any of the other Spider-Man films get IMAX release?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Probably. I think most Marvel movies typically do.
Let me see.
I mean, honestly, it's about having the space. It's about having a space for it, because there aren't a lot of it's not a lot of IMAX screens. The only movie I care about seeing in IMAX is Michael on April 24th.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'll be in there in full cosplay.
Okay, so Spider-Man No Way Home did get IMAX releases.
Narnia getting it is interesting too, because that's a Netflix movie.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse got IMAX.
I bet that was gorgeous in IMAX. Oh my god, I've never been to one. That they don't really have those around here. Not within.
It looks like the most recent. Obviously, No Way Home did get an IMAX release, so it isn't unheard of. But
like, is that confirmed that they aren't getting an IMAX release, or is it?
I mean,
speculated?
if these dates are right, I can't imagine it would get an IMAX release. Look what it's up against.
Again, they chose Moana like that, which I do kind of get, because I imagine that was probably again, that's their movie of the summer, unfortunately, like that and Toy Story 5.
They probably don't want Tom Holland in IMAX twice, you know.
That is the thing. Like Disney, like spread out your shit. Like you have Toy Story on June 19th, and then a couple weeks later you have Spider-Man 4, and then Moana. Like it's too much, too close together.
I don't think nobody's gonna go see Moana. Especially since they said it's a legitimate shot-for-shot remake.
Lance, that's $1 billion movie.
I don't think so.
Moana 2 made $1 billion. Lilo and Stitch just made $1 billion, bro.
Yeah, but Lilo and Stitch wasn't a shot-for-shot remake.
But people like those, unfortunately. Like, we don't, but like casual audiences don't give a shit. Like, they just want to see their pretty colors on screen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait. So if Moana live action is not $1 billion film, where does it rank for you money wise, Lance? Where do you see that movie at?
I don't even know. I don't see it hitting $1 billion. Probably a little bit under, but I don't see Moana hitting $1 billion. Like, you don't even see people. Like, you don't see no hype for it now.
That sounds a little crazy to me, to be honest. I feel like for me that's guaranteed $1 billion.
But there wasn't hype for Moana 2 either. It's just like that's just a different demo. Like, the people like us aren't excited for it, but all those families and those kids love Moana. That like first Moana movie is still in the like top 10 like most streamed movies every single year. Like, kids, something about Moana. Kids love Moana.
I know what it is about Moana that I love. The actress,
Dwayne Johnson.
Huh?
Dwayne Johnson, of course. That's the right answer.
No.
Don't you want to see a live action Maui, Lance?
Isn't he wearing like a?
He's wearing a bodysuit. Yeah, it's a prosthetic suit.
He looks so silly.
It does. I don't understand, but it's whatever. Wait. So where's that? Right here. Just your casual view says a live action Moana might pull off the Lilo and Stitch scenario. Is that what you're thinking?
I think. Yeah.
True. It could, but I think Lilo and Stitch, like, wasn't that like the only live action Disney film to do something like that?
No.
Recently?
I mean, since 2019. But again, like, I'd argue Moana's currently their biggest IP in terms of money.
I think Lion King still is.
Lion King's up there, but like Mufasa didn't do Moana numbers. Like, Mufasa did. I mean, it did well. It did really, really well. But I think that only did like 800 million, which is again a good number. But like, again, Moana 2 made $1 billion, and like no one talked about it. Like, it was like a sneaker hit.
Well, because it was like a repurposed TV show, right? Wasn't that what it was supposed to be? Like a
Moana 2? Yeah. Which is why I really wish that they would just do Moana 3 instead. I would be so much into that and have it be a proper, I hate to say it, but like a proper movie. Because there wasn't a movie. It was a stitched together TV show that's just kind of sloppy, in my opinion.
That's the funny thing is a lot of the critics that typically watch those kinds of films said that was the biggest issue, was it felt like a series of like episodes kind of put together, but the kids didn't care. The kids loved it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
If Disney really was losing money on these live actions, they wouldn't keep making them. So I can explain. I mean, I've talked about this before. Oh, Jake is here. What's up, Jake?
Hey.
Yo, what's up?
Disney
next door.
Oh shit. All right. So the reason why is Disney's the way they do their IPs, they're all in little pockets of this umbrella, and all it takes is for one or two of them to do really well, and then the rest of them can be lower in money. So if they release 5 live action movies and 2 of them do like $2 billion and the other ones just break even, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll just keep making them. Right.
Yeah.
Is that
that's
why they're making another Lion King?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's when Snow White did really bad this year. There were all these things being like, oh, Disney's taking a pause, and like they're considering moving on.
Did Snow White do bad though?
It did pretty.
Pretty bad.
It lost a lot of money.
I stopped paying attention after I seen it because I didn't hate it. Like I just stopped paying attention to the negativity. So
it wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. But like I told people, I was like, just wait for Lilo and Stitch, because I knew Lilo and Stitch would be a massive success, and it was. And I knew that as soon as I saw that, they were like, oh yeah, we're not done. We're gonna do as many of these as we fucking want.
even though that movie, from what I understand, and I still haven't even seen it, but that movie has its own mixed reception to things, from what I understand.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
Has anybody watched the first episode of Welcome to Derry?
I have.
I have not, because my wife does not want to watch anything surrounding it at night.
I have not, because it's not exactly my thing.
Well, I will say this. I don't want to spoil it because I know it's brand new and people probably might not even remember it came out. It came out yesterday. It's a well-made series. I think it looks a lot like a movie in a TV show, which is good. Andy Muschietti is definitely a part of this production. I think the acting is really good. I think the story is really interesting. It's very gory, very, 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 very gory. So definitely keep that in mind when you're watching it. Yeah. I would say it's immediately scary. Like the first episode is immediately like, okay, this is scary.
It's scarier than the movies are, I think.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it is.
It's weird because I won't spoil the ending because I do think you have to experience that for yourself. But like most of the episode, I was like, okay, this is all right. This is okay. And then the final 5 minutes changed my entire opinion upon the show.
Well, because like there's an investment into the episode, and you're like, okay, I'm learning this, I'm learning that, and then the last bit of it, you're like, all out the window. It all goes out the window.
Oh, okay, this is not your father's it. This is something different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I would say it's probably. I love Peacemaker, but I can see this show is already going to be a wild ride. Like. Unless it shits the bed like Peacemaker did towards the end for me. But
just toward the end?
Yes. I actually enjoyed the first half of Peacemaker season 2 a lot. I just didn't like the end of it. And I actually think there was a bump there in the middle because I think it was 4 and 5 could have just been one episode. Was that it? Was it like 4 and 5 were those ones I'm thinking of? I think 4 and 5 could have just been one episode. And I think that 6 and 7 were pretty good going into that back half, and then the 2 episodes that James hyped up to me were kind of the weaker episodes of the season, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, there is. Cody says there's a funny DC thing. Yeah, absolutely, there is in Welcome to Derry. It's actually pretty funny.
Oh yes. Yeah, yes, that was very funny.
Says Pennywise was going easy on the kids in the movie. Well, the thing is, like, I don't want to spoil it, but Pennywise the clown is a very specific type of scary. This show is like, forget everything you knew about Pennywise and get ready for like some really scary shit. So
I think it was a good decision that Bill couldn't do the whole show, which has allowed them to be creative with what they can do with him as a show.
Because we know he's going to
be show.
No, we know he's going to be in it, but he's not in every episode.
No. He's not appearing till like the end of the season, from what we've heard.
But I think that's because they are leading up to that, so we'll get to see that happen. But
like, I think that's smart because, like, I think a lot of people assume that, like, oh, Pennywise is just, or like, it is just Pennywise. As like, no, that's just like a thing that he can do. That's just a small portion of what it is, and. So now we can explore all the other things that he can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore about it, what it is, and we're I guess the show is really gonna like dive into that.
I mean, that's how you make drama tension build up, so it makes sense that they will only have him near the end, assuming that they build up to him properly.
Well, so far so good. I think it's a good start for the season.
Yeah,
so
it's been great.
When does Invincible come out? Do we know?
March.
Okay.
With Daredevil Born Again.
Oh wow, that's gonna be a really good.
It's gonna be really fun. Yeah.
Then isn't the Punisher special in like February?
Has that been confirmed?
We don't have a date yet for it. It's either before or after.
Huh?
Yeah, Jake, stop spreading misinformation.
I mean, hey, I don't write for Screen Rant.
I do.
We know people who do.
Yeah, I called out one of their articles today.
I have to say this constant need for Superman to be a failure for so many people is a little crazy. I think people need
Snyder's not coming back. Just saying.
Well, I've even said
he is.
I've even said from the beginning, even if the DCU fails, the DCEU is already gone. Like it's not, they're not going to bring it back.
Right.
It's
So,
like,
I mean, if the DCU fails, you will just get nothing. So, congrats.
I'll be right back.
okay.
Don't go.
Task final finale scores 4 million viewers in 3 days. Becomes HBO's top 3 fastest growing series ever. Did anybody watch Task with Mark Ruffalo?
No.
Apparently, we're on the outside of that because it's doing really well.
I mean, congrats.
Last week I had jumped off before you talked about it, but how do you feel about WGA and what they're doing? Because the SAG said they're joining them and trying to stop the whole Warner Brothers thing too.
What do you mean? Like, how do I feel about them doing it, or how do I feel about like why they're doing it?
Like what? Like, do you think it's gonna work?
I don't know. I think the weirdest thing. What's up with Darren's profile picture? Yeah, that's one of his funny ones.
Got a lot.
Oh, that's a good question. So they had a lot of leverage a couple years ago when they did the writers' strike and everything because they were still fighting against what AI could be to the studios. But the studios now have had a couple years to really play around with AI and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of agreements they made with the union. You know what I mean? Like specifics. I know we got a little bit of it, but we don't know the full details. Or maybe we do and I didn't read it, but I didn't see anything in there that really pushes too deep into that. But I feel like writers have less leverage now than they did prior to AI. Maybe that's just me. Only because we know studios are looking for a reason to make an AI movie. So I don't know. I'd like to think, look, I think Warner Brothers should not be sold to anyone. I think that's a bad idea. But
First good year they've had in a while.
Yeah. I think what's going to happen is, like I said before, they're going to sell off pieces of Warner Brothers. I don't think one studio is going to buy all of it. I think
they're just gonna split back to just Warner Brothers and Discovery, which honestly is not a bad thing. But I do see people being soured to the fact that the Trump administration is the one trying to really push and
yeah, I saw that.
Sale.
Yeah.
So I think honestly, I'm starting to see less and less posts. I still see posts about it, but after from like last Tuesday up until now, I don't really see like you still see the same old, gun haters, posting about it occasionally.
Right.
But last week, that's all you saw on social media, and this week it's different, especially since they done pulled the Superman suit off a display to get ready for production and all of that stuff.
Right. It's because all they want is to fail. They don't actually care about the products; they just care about the movement.
Yeah, so like people, they're talking about it less. And honestly, I'm gonna keep saying it. If David Zaslav was worried about a sale and whatnot, and worried about if James Gunn was gonna get the boot, I honestly don't think that they would keep any of these things going. When the CW was getting sold off, when they were preparing to get sold to Nexstar, even before Nexstar got them, what's the first thing that they started doing? It was literally a bloody Tuesday. Like they axed everything. I don't see that in David Zaslav even before, like when they were merging with Discovery. He did the same thing.
So Paul, it's more control over media. That's all it is. Like they've already there's a couple things we know that I believe CBS now has someone affiliated with Trump in charge of their editorial department with Barry Wise. We have possibly, David Ellison is the one over at Paramount that is close with Trump that wants to put money down on Warner Brothers so they can own that. They just want things that they can control. That's all it is. That's the whole point. But I will say most people don't want to buy into the debt that Warner Brothers has, which is in like the $30 billion range. They don't want to buy off that debt. They don't want it. And that's what's preventing it from getting sold overnight is most companies are not going to offer them the money they want. Again, I think it has to be over 3 digits. I think we're talking 100 million plus before they even consider it. because they've been offered up to like, I think like 70 some million or billion. I mean,
and they offered even the fact that they still offered Zaslav like co-CEO, that number is not what he would even think about. So like I think at this point they're just entertaining the thought of an acquisition, the thought of offers, because they see, oh, people actually want what we got. People want us.
Well, it inflated their stock value. They had their stocks went on the increase when they said we're for sale or we're going up for sale or whatever. So,
and all these people see is, oh my God, guns out. Right.
Well, even before that happened, you had, whenever the discussion was just that they were discussing bids, not that they were up for sale, but they were discussing bids. People were taking an inch and running them out with the whole, oh, WB's gone, DC's gone, this, that, and the other. It's like, you people will just stop at nothing, won't you?
Yeah, right here it says, Patrick says, wanting an entire studio full because you're pissed that your movie universe didn't get to continue is dumb. It is dumb. The whole thing is dumb.
Apparently, DC legend Chuck Dixon said James Gunn's Superman failed, and he thinks James Gunn is going to be out. I don't even know who Chuck Dixon is.
He's a washed up Batman writer that basically has one run that people remember, and that's it.
I'd argue more.
You do not want to defend him, Jake. I'm telling you, I've done a deep dive on this guy. He's like a Nazi sympathizer. You don't want to defend Chuck Dixon.
Right. Well, I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm just saying he's got more than one piece of work.
Other than, like, he did a little bit with Nightwing that people like. He had some Batman stuff that people like, but it's essentially everything else he's ever done has been pretty mediocre, in my opinion. What other run do you think he's done that's really good?
I mean,
would you say Punisher?
Yeah, but I mean, like, other than the Nightwing stuff, which I liked back in the day. I mean, I think
do you want me to pull up all the stuff that's wrong with his Nightwing run? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, dude. Like, in hindsight, it's pretty bad.
I'm not saying some of it doesn't have holes. I mean, but other than being like the guy who created Bane, there's not that many things.
He didn't totally create Bane either. Okay, that's not all his creation.
No, he was a co-creator.
Yes.
Because it's the whole like Rob Liefeld thing. Everybody thinks Liefeld was the only one to make that.
And now he writes books for like a really bad comic book company, and it's all garbage. Like he's really not. He had like. Somebody has to be consistently good for me to be considered them other than like a washed up person. When you've done bad, like you peaked in the 90s and it's been bad since then, I consider that to be washed up. In my opinion. Fair enough. But yeah, Chuck Dixon is not a good person. I don't give a fuck what he says about James Gunn. I did a whole video series on him. There was a deep dive Reddit. Hold on, let me pull this up here. Let's see. I just want to bring this up on screen. I'll show you guys here. Hold on. So here's an entire deep dive done on Reddit about Chuck Dixon. It is a deep dive about it. And it's pretty damn like so here it goes. It goes and I can't believe I'm reading this again. I didn't ever think I'd bring this up again. In news that surprises absolutely no one, creating male characters who would talk about how disgusting sex with women was made by people that think that they are gay. This was helped by the fact that Chuck Dixon, I can't read this. This screen is too small. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right. Where were we at? Okay, here it goes. Where was that? Oh, the Chuck Dixon was utterly incapable of writing anything without a lot of homoerotic subtext, all of which was blissfully unaware of. Most of Dixon's writings are pretty much heavily whatever this is. I'm not going to click on it, but I think it's probably something we can't show on YouTube, which is made all the better by oblivious he was to it. Running through a few examples. Dinah, where is it at? Right here, we'll start at the top. Dinah deliberately walks in on Nightwing in the shower. Her excuse, she thought he was Barbara. This is about the stuff with Dinah and Barbara here. Barbara provides Dinah with a skimpy dress to seduce a man and mysteriously knew her exact size. Then she spends the whole seduction talking about how shit he is and how Canary is far too good for him. In one scene, Barbara refers to sending Dinah on dangerous missions as endangering her heart. Dinah refers to Barbara's mission briefing as the sexy part. In a Nightwing comic, Dick wakes Barbara up, revealing that Canary had slept over in the same bedroom with only a t-shirt on. At one point, Barbara asks Dinah, how we making out? Power Girl reveals that she had worked with Barbara, calling Barbara Dinah's girlfriend, and then asks, did you really think that you were her first partner? Like, there's just all of this homoerotic stuff going on, but yet he's extremely homophobic. And it's just like point after point after point after point of him doing this stuff. Especially making it so that Nightwing seems completely disinterested in women completely through almost his entire run of writing that character. Like that was one of the bases I used for a deep dive on Chuck Dixon. He, like, in hindsight, nostalgia is a bitch. You go back and you read those books, they are not that good. They're just not.
My brain hurts.
Sometimes, and sometimes it's okay in certain situations, but sometimes I think the people running these comics are just too damn horny. Like I'm reading this and I'm like, my goodness.
Yeah, like there's some writers that I will defend even though they've got some shit takes, and there's ones like him where I'm like, no, his shit was just bad. And the thing is that to write subtle homoerotic stuff and then be so staunchly like anti-gay is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me. Let's see. Serenity says, on a gay Discord, we talked about the gay subtext in Birds of Prey comics this weekend. Yeah, true. Yeah. And I mean, that's a lot of the stuff that he did. He was like that. But anyway, going back to what he said about James Gunn, James Gunn is a very successful individual in the business industry who doesn't run around looking for work anywhere he can find it, which is what Chuck Dixon does now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Chuck's opinion of James Gunn matters much to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Snyder cultists are running around making videos about it.
Right, because Chuck Dixon works for Eric July, a washed up political commentator here on YouTube that has bled subscribers. At the end of last year, he had 518,000 subscribers. Now he has 489,000. They're just running away from his channel in droves. They're literally unsubscribing from him. His comic book business has been like a roller coaster ride when you're getting off the roller coaster. So, like, I just, like, those guys have no business talking about success and failure like they're experts in it. It just, it's like, they just don't. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I do think that is, not to go backwards to what you were just saying, but I do think that is unfortunately a very common take within the queer community where like people like, oh no, like I'm not homophobic and whatever, but like what they like justify just liking seeing same-sex couples together in a sexy way as their like defense, right? It's like, oh, like you're not an ally, you just like seeing girls kiss. Like that's not being not homophobic. You know what I mean? It's just like you like it for the fantasy, but once you take that out of the equation, it's like, well, what are the true colors?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I stated that correctly. Or if that
No,
and you probably triggered a lot of people out there that weren't ready to be called out. But...
Yeah, no, it's true. No, that's absolutely true.
No.
Look, I've said this before. You don't necessarily have, like, I don't think anybody should be watching or reading something that they just don't want to watch or read or whatever. But when you're creating something and you have control over what's going into that story, then you don't have to put things in that story you don't want to put in there. And then later on go, well, I hate this group of people, where I've basically created all this subtext around it. It's just, to me, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, we got some super chats here. Well, we got one that we didn't read here from Cody, $5 super chat. Here's the thing about Fox, though. If Disney didn't buy them, Fox would be non-existent now.
Yeah.
I think Fox would have gone the route that I think Warner Brothers might be going, which is just selling off individual IP. Is what would happen. So yes, Fox as an entity might not exist, but their IPs would still exist somewhere, which is what I think will happen with Warner Brothers, essentially, because I don't think anybody wants $30+ billion in debt going into a company. There's only a handful of companies that can do that. I've talked about this. I think I talked about it on the showcast, but there's only a handful of companies that can actually do that. Amazon, Apple, Paramount, and Sony.
Those are the only ones who can really afford to.
Well, Disney could as well, but I don't think there's any shot that Disney will buy Warner Brothers outright. So the four that could, I think, don't want it. And Paramount just doesn't want to throw the money around. That's the problem. Like, that would be essentially you buying a business that already has losses. Like, you're buying a restaurant that's already been in failing. So even a good year doesn't make up for the $30 billion that you're in debt for, which is the problem. I just don't think they're going to have enough money to do it, or they're not going to get up bidders. Do you think, because Lance, you kind of mentioned this too, about the whole Paramount thing. Do you think that them announcing this in sort of a public way was just to sort of like make it seem as if they're more successful than they actually are right now? Like, we're going to go up for sale because we're so successful. Everybody wants to buy us now. You know what I mean? Do you think that might have been part of the plan or no?
Yes, and I think it's the fact that this is, no matter what way you want to look at it, this is one of the most successful years that Warner Brothers has had.
They beat Disney in the summer. They beat Disney this summer.
It's been all eyes. It's been all eyes on Warner Brothers. But again, what people keep failing to think about, David Zaslav is a businessman. He's business minded. Ever since he's come on, he's figuring out ways to pivot and make money.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't have a plan for how he was going to stay in power at Warner Brothers in some sort of way, he would have said, "Oh, you know what? DCU dead and gone." Oh, what is New Line talking about? We're doing Mortal Kombat 3. No, we're just gonna release this and let that be that. Oh, Minecraft 2? We're announcing that? No, we're not doing that.
I just want to point out, Lance, also, I think, and everybody else here can chime in on this, I think Warner Brothers has a good lineup for 2026 too.
Yep.
Yeah.
They definitely do.
So, I mean, we're talking about them saying we're for sale and going into another year that might be as big or even bigger than this past year.
Are they Michael, or is that someone else?
Mike, that's somebody else.
That's not Warner Brothers.
Okay.
But either way you slice it, like all the people that are still talking about these DCU films are gonna fail, because honestly, when for some odd reason, and I get it, but for some odd reason, whenever anything about Warner Brothers comes up, the first thing on people's minds is DC Comics.
Yeah. Yep.
So, even though they have way more than that, the most successful thing from Warner Brothers, Sinners, an original idea. Minecraft literally did gangbusters, started an entire movement. Barbie
made $1 billion.
And then look at Godzilla Kong last year.
Yeah.
But sure, the first thing on people's minds is, oh man, Warner Brothers getting sold. DC's out of there. No,
DC is on the far end of their umbrella. Honestly, it's on the far end of their umbrella.
And like, hopefully that can change. But like right now, it's the most unpredictable IP they have. Like, I think their stuff can make a lot of money. It could also make no money.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you market it.
How do you think Supergirl is gonna do though? Like, that's the one I'm worried about, Supergirl, because one, people are sexist. Like, that's just, two, people are sexist. Three, people. I mean, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go see it day one. I think everybody is looking forward to Lanterns to see what they do. Like, Lanterns is gonna have eyes on it no matter what.
Lanterns is going to give us a look at a more serious Warner Brothers DC property without James Gunn being in charge of the whole project.
Yep. Honestly, all of these projects next year are literally not James Gunn, and I think that's gonna change people's perspective, or not everybody's, but the same people like, oh, he's still over it, so it's still him. I'm like, yeah, that's neither here nor there. He didn't write this. He didn't direct
the same with Kevin Feige for all the Marvel projects. But to answer your question, I think in a normal year, Supergirl could make bank. I think it would make a lot of money if marketed correctly with what its aesthetic is. I think it could I definitely see those comparisons to Guardians in terms of that neo-galactic vibe. I think it could do well. It's just too crowded. It's surrounded by Toy Stories and Minions and Moanas and Spider-Mans and Odyssey. I really wish.
I also want to point out this comment here. Warner Brothers is the only studio currently that gives Disney any pressure whatsoever. It's the only one.
True.
And once they go away, if they don't sell in whole and keep up the kind of stuff they're making right now, Disney will rule the box office with an iron fist.
Yeah.
Pun intended. So.
Got them rolling with a Danny Rand.
Anyway, because we're going to wrap up in a minute, we're not going to do a thing tonight. So, because we're getting close to the 2-hour mark and I didn't even tell everybody what we're doing yet. So, these are the ones we're voting on tonight. Now, Thursday is going to be a Halloween special. So it will, unless there's breaking news, and I mean breaking news, the only thing I'll be doing on Halloween is going over a lot of these lists that we have. So if you guys see a breaking story, we'll talk about the breaking story. If a trailer drops, we'll watch a trailer. But we're literally going to be doing like 2 or 3 of these lists as fun. I'll be in costume. We'll do I might do a giveaway on Thursday. I haven't decided yet. I might do some sort of a giveaway. So stay tuned. I'll post that in the community tab if we do it. So here are your options tonight. Top 5 best period piece TV shows. So that shows based outside of current day. So future or past.
Okay.
Top 5 best video game adaptations. So cartoons, live action shows, movies, whatever your personal opinion is on that. And it can even be like if it's something that's crossed over previously, you can kind of give your answer. For example, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been a video game, right? So that could be considered like an adaptation of that. So you can count that as well. Top 5 worst ideas used in movies. So these are things that this is very subjective, but essentially these are things that happen in movies where you're like, that was a bad idea. They never should have done it. And the last one is top 5 worst plot holes in the MCU. So these are things that you would consider plot holes in the MCU. So those are the choices. You have time to vote on that there.
So you say there's going to be nothing Thursday unless some major thing drops. Watch that be the day we get another chair announcement. Now that you've said that.
Chris says, Eric, I swear you probably just jinxed yourself. It's possible.
Yeah, we're probably going to get like a Doomsday chair announcement now that he said that.
Darth Sim said, did anybody see Chainsaw Man movie?
No.
Nope.
Nerd.
We are way out of loop on that one.
But I am planning my my movie days for November. 3 releases that I'm really excited for next month. So
there you go.
Does anybody think that this is going to be a big deal for the TV side? Just curious.
Yeah,
It's 27. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's not next year.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, it's gonna be. As much as I think people hate to hear it because of everything, and again, I don't like J.K. Rowling either, but I think that's the next big TV show after.
It's gonna be a major talking point.
It is like. There wasn't this like Game of Thrones level show in the last, let's be honest, 10 years since Game of Thrones ended, except for Stranger Things. I think now that Stranger Things has ended, it's Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter is that next big thing. Like, say what you will, if you like it happening or you don't, it is easily one of the biggest IPs in the world by a large margin of people. And it's going to do very well. It is going to be very successful from people who are excited for it and the people who aren't. Because guess what? All the people that are like, this sucks, I don't want to see this, you are going to hate watch it.
Yep.
They are going to hate watch it.
That's going to get the numbers up.
Yep. So
people will be like, oh, well, we're trashing this. Why do
you
they...
think so? You guys agree with me that people are going to hate watch this show? Because
100%. And they're just going to feed into the numbers too. They're going to be like, why do they keep doing more? It's like, well, you keep supporting it technically.
Same as those live action reboots. It's like, well, why do they keep making them? It's because we keep watching them. We keep giving them money. Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to send a message to a product that it's not for you, use your wallet. That will send a much bigger message.
I've always said that like not watching something or boycotting it by not spending your money is the best way to personally spend. What's wrong?
What did you just do, Lance?
My phone fell.
Is that
my God.
It's a light fixture.
All right, guys. Lance is auditioning to be the new Mysterio. So
Lance has gone insane.
I don't have a hat.
All right, so let's see what won the poll here. Hold on, let's do this. What are we going to be talking about on Thursday? The winner is top 5 best video game adaptations. So that is going to be the topic for one of the topics for Thursday. So there we go. Let me go ahead and write in the notes here.
Go ahead and write that down.
Okay, so like TV and movies that were based on video games.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm calling it now. Crash Bandicoot.
Can't wait to talk about Halo.
We already talked about that, Crash Bandicoot. And
Darren
doesn't seem excited about it, so...
Darren wasn't alive when Crash Bandicoot was a thing.
It's still a thing. It's still popular.
Is
Taz has been trying to get me to play for years, and I tell him no.
All right. With that being said, we're going to jump out of here. I've had a long day. I got to get a new phone tomorrow, so I got to get up early and go take care of that.
What kind of phone you getting?
I don't, whatever the one is that I can afford. So we'll see what that is.
iPhone 16. Join the club.
Okay. Maybe I will. Quite possibly. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining me, Darren for being here with all of his many different hats and wigs tonight. Lance for jumping in right when we were talking about sexiness on camera. And Jake for joining us. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all your super chats, showing all your love. Again, we'll be back on Thursday. It's going to be a Halloween stream. So fingers crossed that we either get something really good to talk about or nothing happens and we can do our polls. So whichever one you're looking forward to. With that being said, we're out of here. Have a good night and see y'all. Hey there, if you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.